Hello beautiful people of YouTube. Today we're working on the 5-cylinder 07K swap BMW E30 drift car, and we need to get the RX-8 transmission back up and mounted to the 07K. Now if you guys don't remember, we had an adapter plate to mount the RX-8 transmission up to the 07K, but the adapter plate had the 07K sitting at a 0-degree angle, and we need the 07K to sit at like a 20-degree angle. So we had to get a new gearbox adapter from RX-8 gearbox adapters to accommodate that 20-degree lump over angle. So we need to cut up this adapter to make it fit how it was with the other adapter. So as you can see, we already have the RX-8 gearbox trimmed down to be able to clear the timing cover on the 07K, and the new adapter plate is going to need shaved down, and we might lose this mounting hole here. Actually, we're gonna 100% lose it, but I'm gonna start trimming it down with the grinder, and then we'll kind of see how we're gonna line up and try to get it to fit up to the 07K once again. So the one thing that I didn't necessarily think about is since that we have a new adapter and it's like at a 20-degree angle, we might not actually have to make this adapter the same exact shape as that one. We're gonna have different clearance issues now with the adapter. So this bolt right here is supposed to go right there. So that bolt at the top, that bolts to the bell housing of the RX-8 transmission. We're definitely going to lose that because that needs to be flush and sit flat with the timing cover. We might not actually lose this bolt over here because this connects to the block of the 07K. So we actually need to be focusing on grinding this part flat instead of focusing over here. Good thing I stopped and said, hold up, this don't seem right. So now we're going to go back and try to, grind the correct way and not ruin this piece of this adapter. Grinding down the bell housing adapter was an incredibly long process. I think the last time that I did this, a lot of people told me that I should go and get a flap disc for my grinder, but I ultimately just ended up using the grinding disc that I already had. This adapter plate is made out of a very thick, mild steel, so I think it's just going to take long to grind down regardless. But as I'm sitting here watching this video back, I do think it's really funny that last year when I built my Mark II 5-cylinder swap, that was my first time ever using a grinder. I had to grind down the O2J to be able to clear the timing cover for the 07K. That was the first time I've ever used a grinder in my life, and now here I am using the grinder all the time. I use the grinder for all sorts of different things. Quite honestly, when I started working on cars, I was like, oh my god, dude, all these power tools are terrifying, but as long as you take the right steps and precautions, you'll literally be fine. And a lot of people say to wear gloves while you're grinding, but I feel like you probably shouldn't, just in case that a glove gets caught in the grinding wheel somehow. You're gonna lose a finger or a glove or something like that, so I decided not to use gloves and always wear ear protection because you don't want tinnitus at the ripe age of 24 like myself. Now, a lot of you guys have compared my videos to something like Taylor Ray, which is really cool. I am a really big Taylor Ray fan. I do enjoy his videos and I watch them regularly. But when Taylor Ray does his voiceovers, he kind of talks about exactly what he's doing, but I think I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I like to do yap sessions during a video. So I think from here on out, I'm going to use this sped up footage as an opportunity for me to yap about stuff that I usually would on video. That way you guys get to watch stuff actually get done and then listen to me talk about random stuff on the other end. Like you guys are watching me grind stuff and I'm talking about something completely different. Like right now what I'm currently thinking about is the one knock knock joke that I told my students the other week. Knock knock, who's there? Cargo. Cargo who? Cargo vroom vroom. Pretty funny, right? That's hot. Ow! Alright, well, we got this thing pretty much trimmed up to where I want it, so now we're going to try to test fit it up, and I think, honestly, it's going to fit right up. And if it does, if it fits up instantly, like perfect, the first try, I'm going to be super stoked. So, it's a little messy, I'm going to go back and clean it up, but it's, dude, I think it's going to fit up perfect the first try, dude. It fits, I just can't tell if all the bowl housing bolts line up to where it's supposed to be. So I don't know. I think we're on the right track though. 5 out of 6 bell housing bolts line up perfectly. So I'll take that. That's a win, dude. That's a win in my book. So we have it mounted up. We just have one bowl right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That one doesn't line up. 5, 6. So we have 5 out of 6 that match up to the block. I'll take that. That's a passing score. So I think it'll be fine. Now the hardware that I have does not work because it just goes like, does not work. We got a freaking new bell housing adapter, so let's try to get the RX-8 transmission over to the adapter and see if it'll mount up. Come on over, you stinky old pig. If you guys remember the last time that I did this, this was not fun, so I really hope that this just goes way better than the last time. Let's put the engine down. because the engine moving is making things difficult. Okay, we can do this. Who's the best? I'm the best. Who's the best? You're the best. I think we're having some clearance issues with this right here. Say goodbye, you little punk. Okay, more material needs to come off here, like a lot more. All right, we did some more grinding, so how about now? Ah, fuck. Ah, wait, that ain't good. This bolt needs to be significantly shorter. We'll not worry about that bolt. Let's try to get it back up and mounted. Try to do that, and then maybe do one of these ones over here. She's on there. Holy crap. Ah. Oh my God, no way. Oh my God, no way. All right, well, I still gotta get hardware for the adapter plate, but dude, look at that. Woo! No way. Heck yeah, dude. She's on there, baby. She's on there, baby. Look at that. That's an RX-8 transmission back on the 07K. But hold up. It's at a 20-degree angle. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Dude, that makes me so hyped. Thank God that worked. I mean, I still got to figure out hardware, and I still don't know if our slave cylinder is going to work, but this is progress, baby. This is a win. Dude, I thought this was going to be way more of a struggle. Hey, remember all that hard work we did yesterday to get this transmission onto the engine? Well, we have to undo that now because I have a concentric slave cylinder to put on the RX-8 transmission, and I also got to figure out the rest of the hardware solution for the rest of the adapter plate. But I just wanted to make sure this was going to work before I dove into it any further. Okay, you went on there with the impact, but stupid. You should just, there we go. So we need to figure out a slave cylinder setup. So now this isn't going to work, the OEM slave cylinder, because it's gonna run right into the vacuum pump. So over here, Mr. RX-8 Gearbox Adapters himself sent me this concentric slave cylinder. So this is like basically an internal slave cylinder. This goes inside of the bell housing. I really don't know how it works. I don't know what I'm really looking at, but this is some sort of adapter with a bunch of adapter plates. We'll figure it out, but yeah, we gotta put that on. We also need to figure out what hardware to use from the adapter plate into the block, because from somewhere between moving from the shed to the shop, I lost it all, and I don't remember where it is. So we got to figure out what hardware we can use. So although I don't know how the concentric slave cylinder works yet, I know that we have to get rid of this. So we're going to start doing that, and then we'll kind of figure it out as we go. So this just pops off. This is just a boot. And then this is held on by, it looks like, absolutely nothing. Oh, that works. We can just do that. Okay, that was, oh, I see. It's got like a little, I gotcha. This is going to get interesting. This time, I genuinely don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll say like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, and then have like a slight idea. This time, don't know what I'm doing. So this could go really bad, and then I put everything together, and then I put it in the car, and then the clutch just doesn't work. That would really suck, but I think we'll figure it out. We got this. I figured out how we can install the concentric slave cylinder. We need to take this little plate off here and then put this on there and then bolt everything back up with the plate back in place, and then use however many slave cylinder, spacers that we need, and then install the slave cylinder. And then now we have this cool little window we got here from the old clutch fork or whatever the hell you want to call it, and then you can kind of see like the engagement of the slave cylinder and throwout bearing on the clutch and flywheel once we get that put on. So let's pop off this little plate back here. We need to take off the clutch pivot ball, but I don't think I have a big enough wrench here for that. All right, well, screw it. We went to advanced and we got the right socket. We got a 21 mil deep socket, so then we can pop out this little ball thing in here and then pull this out, and then, all right, let's just pull this out, whatever. And that was that easy, dude. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, wow, it just came off like that. All right, cool. Smells like tranny fluid. Yum. Now what we need to do is cut off this little tube here and basically grind it flush. And I don't have a cutoff wheel, so things are about to get sketch. I'm just kidding. I did have a grinding wheel. I was smart enough to like stop and think, be like, oh, I'm probably going to need a grinding wheel over here. Ah, I'm so smart. I'm so happy that I'm a genius. Still going to be sketchy though, because I don't exactly have a bench vise. So I hope that there's a way that I can do this. Hi-ya! All right, well, I realized I wasn't filming, but I cut that off, and then now I grinded it flush. So now she's all flush and ready to go back on. So I am going to have to re-RTV this, but I'm not worried about it right now. I know you guys are like, what is he doing? But I'm going to just put all of this together. I'm making more work for myself. I'm going to put this all back together and then mount it back up to the 07K because I want to make sure that this works before I waste more time. I just want to make sure that this works because I honestly have no idea if it's going to work. So this goes back on like so. And then this little adapter plate goes on like this. And then snug those bad boys back up. So the one thing that I do need to do is go back and RTV everything, and I need to thread lock all of these, but for now it's going to stay like this because I want to make sure that this works. Okay, so now this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky. So we have the slave cylinder here, and then these are a bunch of like adapter plates that kind of push the slave cylinder out further, because when we put this up, this face, this throwout bearing here needs to be fully compressed, and the slave cylinder needs fully compressed when it's hitting the pressure plate on the clutch assembly. So we're going to start out with this thick boy here, and then we're going to mount everything kind of up and loose, kind of test fit it, and see how we're looking. All right, well, if this isn't already weird enough of a drivetrain, well, it's going to get a little bit different. So this here is a friction disc or clutch plate or whatever the heck you want to call it from an RX-8. And then this pressure plate is from a Volkswagen 1.8T. It's a little weird, I know, but hopefully it works. I don't really know. It's kind of a hodgepodge of automotive creativity, so hopefully everything works and does what it needs to do. So I have learned from experience that these flywheel or pressure plate bolts are one-time use. They are torque to yield. So I'm not going to torque them down super hard because I don't want to get new ones. Now, let me reiterate. This is not final assembly, okay? This is far from final assembly, but I just wanted to reiterate that. I am not going to torque these puppy suckers down to their spec. I'm just going to put these on there and snug them up nice and cozy so that they can go to bed, okay? We're just doing a little test fit. That's all that we're doing. And that's not centered even in the slightest. This is going to be a pain in the butt, isn't it? With the clutch alignment tool not working. We're going to make this work. All right, well, maybe that'll be a little bit better. I just grinded it down. This is not what you're supposed to do, but it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. I'll just have to make sure to hold on to it as I tighten down these pressure plate bolts. I'll probably get new bolts. I don't know. Let's see if we aligned it correctly. Dang it. I don't think that is aligned perfect. We're just off slightly. Maybe we need to get a 1.8T clutch alignment tool because, I mean, the 1.8T or 07K clutch alignment tool. But then the splines will be different because I think that the RX-8 clutch disc is a 23 spline while the 1.8T is a 22 spline. Let's try to fit up the transmission anyway. We'll see what happens. You guys know that one sound on TikTok where it's like, nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong. That's kind of what's going on in my brain right now. Nothing could go wrong, but it could also all go very wrong. So let's see if this transmission will even mount up now with the flywheel and the pressure plate on. Because I don't know if the clutch is perfectly aligned. It feels like it's aligned when I, do a little circular motion with my finger. But yeah, I don't know. All right, well, we seem to run into some trouble. I can't quite get the transmission to fully go onto the 07K. Not sure what's going on. Not sure if the clutch isn't perfectly aligned, so that's not allowing the output shaft of the transmission to go into the engine. I'm kind of at an impasse. I'm not really sure what to do. See, I don't know how well y'all can see in there, but like, you know, we're going in. She's going in there, but I just can't get it to like fully go in. All right, well, off camera, I got it, I think. I don't really know. I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, it's in there, but that is supposed to be fully compressed. That slave cylinder is supposed to be fully compressed, or about around fully compressed. It's not whatsoever even close. So I think we're gonna have to take everything off and add some more spacers. But I think we're gonna do that off camera, because pretty much it's just gonna be me sitting here struggling and swearing and just cussing up a storm. So I think we'll just do that off camera. But you guys get the general premise, and if there is anything that you want to help with in the video and be like, hey, you should do this or you should try that, just make sure you say it nicely. But yeah, please tell me, be like, yeah, you could try this or this. And then I do read the comments. I read every single comment and reply to all of them. So there's a lot I still need to do, but the general idea is there, and it looks like it's going to work. Now, I wish I could show you guys in there with a flashlight, but the output shaft is on the clutch like disc, and it is, the splines did line up and it did go in. But I kind of want to ask you guys if you might be able to help me and give me some input of how can I make sure that this is going to work. Like, can I rotate the crank of the engine and see if it's actually going to rotate the output shaft on the transmission? Like, so say if I have it in gear like that and rotate the front of the crank on the engine, this should turn, you know, whatever way or however we do it. Would that work? Just to make sure that like it's going to work. I don't know. Please let me know. But anyway, there's an RX-8 transmission with a concentric slave cylinder onto an 07K. Still a lot to iron out, but I think we're going to call it here for good for the weekend, and we'll reconvene here later. But anyway, thank you guys for watching so much, and if you have anything to say in the comments, please do so, and if you like the video, subscribe, leave a like, do the stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good night. I love you. Goodbye.